Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Before I dive into today's episode, I want to speak directly to the woman who's been showing up for everyone else, but knows that it's time to finally show up fully for herself. So, the Radiance Code is a 6-month mastermind for 3 women who are ready to make that shift, not from a place of burnout, but from a place of deep self-respect, self-love, and a desire to live life on your own terms. Inside this container, you'll receive weekly coaching, private WhatsApp support, and tools that actually move the needle, not just in what you do, but how you feel about yourself. So we begin with a private Energy Leadership Index assessment and a 90-minute one-to-one debrief. This is a powerful tool from the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching, which helps you understand the energetic patterns that have been running the show and how to shift them to align with the version of you that's confident, calm, and completely clear on what she deserves. This is the work of choosing yourself, not just once, but again and again until it becomes second nature. So if you're ready to root back into your worth, expand your vision, and walk through life knowing you've got your own back, this is exactly what you've been waiting for. Spots are limited to 3, and the link to apply for the Radiance Code is in the show notes. Let's make this be a season that you come home to you. And let's get into today's episode. It is a loving reminder for anyone who's ever longed for more affection, more depth, more understanding, more real love in life. The truth is, the love that you crave doesn't begin with someone else. It starts with you. And not in a cliche way, but a deeply energetic, biological, and emotional way that ripples out into every part of your life. Today, we're going to explore how to become the source of the love that you're seeking using both science and soul. So let's start with why we crave love. It is natural to crave love. We are wired for connection. In fact, studies in neuroscience show that love and bonding release oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which makes us feel safe, seen, and soothed. But here's where many of us get stuck. We search out there for something we haven't yet cultivated in here, inside of ourselves. It's like trying to find warmth from a fireplace that's never been lit. You sit by it, hoping someone else will strike the match, when the truth is you've been holding the lighter all along. Self-love itself is a frequency. It isn't just bubble baths and affirmations. It's a frequency that you emit. It's the energetic blueprint that teaches the world how to treat you. Dr. Joe Dispenza, in his research, shows that the thoughts and feelings we repeatedly embody actually condition our heart's electromagnetic field, meaning that when you cultivate love internally, you literally become magnetic to it externally. So think of yourself perhaps as a tuning fork. When you're vibrating at the frequency of self-worth, self-devotion, and deep inner safety, you begin to attract relationships that match that tone. Anything out of resonance naturally falls away. It's not magic, it's alignment. So how do you start loving yourself deeply? Here are 3 powerful ways to activate the love that you seek from within. 1 is to speak to yourself like a beloved. Your inner dialogue sets the tone. So, would you speak to a child or a partner the way that you sometimes speak to yourself? Most likely not. There's a quote that I always come back to, and it's, if being hard on myself worked, it would have worked by now. So practice turning that harsh inner critic into a warm inner coach. Practice embodying a sanctuary of unconditional love. That's how I like to think about it and refer it to myself. It's like if I catch myself with my inner critic turned on, I like to imagine my inner world like a beautiful garden that I'm deciding to, no, I'm going to get those inner critic weeds out and I'm going to start planting beautiful flowers and making this a place for all of my dreams and desires to blossom and bloom with love and support. You can also use your journal to connect more deeply with self-love. You can ask yourself questions such as, what do I long to hear from someone else? And how can I give that to myself today? You can also meditate on the question, what do I need deeply in this moment? And maybe that is words of affirmation, maybe it's physical touch, and you can actively start to give yourself those things. You can practice hugging yourself, or you can practice doing mirror work, telling yourself that you love yourself, that you support yourself, that you're beautiful in the mirror in front of you. So another powerful way to activate the love that you seek from within is to create emotional safety within. So when triggers arise, instead of abandoning yourself, stay. So imagine you're holding your own hand through a storm. You don't need to make the weather stop. You just need to stay by your side. Triggers are challenging, and I have episodes on my podcast to support you in that. I'll link the latest one down below. But triggers are a natural part of life. And the more and more that we can show ourselves support and intimacy with ourselves when we're experiencing triggers, right? Like I said, not abandoning, not trying to flee the moment, not trying to fix anything, but simply just deciding I'm going to be there for myself. I'm going to soothe myself, provide myself with anything that I need. That activates deep levels of self-love. And next, you can actually rewire your love patterns. So according to attachment theory, the way we bond in adult relationships mirrors how we learn to love as children. But the good news is attachment styles can shift. When we consistently show up for ourselves in new ways, we can rewire these previous programs. So when you choose to soothe instead of self-sabotage, you are deeply loving yourself. You are integrating deeper levels of compassion and support for your soul, for your inner being. When you honor your needs instead of ignoring them, or when you stay when you want to bolt, that's when the pattern breaks. That's when the portal to true love within and without opens. So I want to share something personal with you. There have been so many times in my life when I thought the love was something I had to earn or chase through being perfect, people pleasing, or endlessly giving. But the real shift happened when I stopped and asked, what if I gave myself the very thing that I was begging this world to give me? That's when everything changed. My relationships, my business, my peace. Not because I became detached or cold, but because I became whole, and I recognized that. I recognized that I had the capability to tend to my needs on a deep level. I had the capabilities to support myself, to love myself deeply, and to allow myself to be seen and heard on the deepest levels. So, if you're longing for a partner or feeling unseen in the relationship you're already in, or just missing yourself, this is your reminder. You are not waiting on love. You are love. And when you remember that, life begins to reflect it back to you in the most beautiful, aligned ways. And if this episode spoke to you and you feel called to deepen the work, as I mentioned, I've recently opened up my latest women's mastermind container, the Radiance Code, where we go to work on all of this stuff. But if there's more of a call to do this work at your own pace, I have a DIY course called Metamorphosis. And this is for all women who are ready to trade insecurities for inner security, who are ready to become a sanctuary for unconditional love, and who are ready to be the queen, confident, magnetic, and an irresistible match for love, beginning on the inside. As I mentioned, this is a DIY course, which means that once you purchase it, you can move through it at your own pace. You could binge it. You could do it once a week, whatever you feel the call to. And if there's any questions or ever any episode requests, know that you can always reach out to me. I love hearing from you. And thank you so much for listening today. And I will be chatting with you again very soon in the next episode. Love you. Bye.